What's up, guys? It's Eric here, and if you missed Shurima Cup this weekend, you missed an insane weekend of competition and my best placement in a tournament ever. By far, by far. I was blown away. If you guys didn't catch it, I went second overall in the Shurima Cup, only behind Setsuko, who is, of course, a god of TFT, so only being behind Setsuko, I'm very happy with that, and ahead of some other incredible players, and so many other players got eliminated outside of the top 8. It was I don't know. I'm just blown away by the entire experience. I received so much kind words and support from everyone who was watching the streams and just DMs and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So nice. Mort Dog tweeted at me and said that I played well. Like Mort Dog, Mort Dog. Like, oh my god. So I wanted to go over one of my games from this weekend. This is actually from day 3, so the first game in the second weekend. This was actually a really, really rough day for me. It was actually very, very hard for me to adapt to the lobby tempo of these lobbies. It's actually really, really different from weekend 1 because there's so many better players. They're playing way more aggressively. So it was actually wild playing in day 3 because I started off really poorly. I went 7th, then 6th, then I managed to get a first, which brought me back a little bit. But then I had another 7th, I think. So yeah, my score so far, 2 7ths, a 6th, and a first. And so I say, okay, I need to get a first this game. If I go first into 4th, I make it 100% guaranteed. And if I do anything like 2nd into 3rd or 3rd into 2nd, like that same sort of sum of scores, that's okay. But a first into 4th is really, really good for me. Because the first tiebreaker was number of firsts. So getting a first in there is really, really crucial for guaranteeing that I'm in. As you can see, I natural a Swain and a Samira. Now, we don't buy the Swain and Samira. Do not buy these units because, of course, we're playing Caitlyn. So you know what we're going to do? We are going to lock the shop, Giga Chad, and pray for a Stars is Born. You can see my face. I'm looking for it. And boom, there is the Stars are Born, which guarantees us Swain 2, Samira 2, and we can play an insane Noxus board just like this. And I mean, look at the board. Noster runs over to my board and is like, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? Please. But this is why I want to play Caitlyn on the weekend. She's just like so good in scenarios exactly like this. I know that I'm going to make 10 here, and if I win, I can hold on to the Cassiopeia. But if I lose, I just won't hold on to Cassiopeia. I know this board is very, very strong. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this position, especially knowing that I need to play for a first this game. I see Connor's board, and I think, okay, I should always win this, but I'm just going to slam Gunblade to do maximum damage. And also, they have a Samira on their board. So I'm thinking, what's the chance that somehow this Samira just like pops off and kills a bunch of my units? Like, I mean, pretty much 0, but especially because I have Swain 2. But I think the Gunblade stem is pretty appropriate here. Makes a lot of sense. We get natural a Callista as well, so we can just get this in over the Irelia. Hold on to a Jhin and Chop as well. But yeah, we're just coasting this early game. Hopefully, we're gonna be able to play a 5 streak. One of the big things I struggled with today, well, not today, but in the today for the past me, in day 3 was early game and like maintaining HP because so many people are playing strong boards. I tried playing my Sorks opener a few games and I just like lost so many random fights. I was just like, oh my god, I'm really losing like these fights with my Sorks. I was stomping people in the first weekend and now I'm just like, I can't even win a single fight. It was crazy. And HP matters so much in this meta because people kept their boards quite high eventually, and so like just having some extra HP to get you to late game I think is giga important. I noticed this Warwick in shop and I think, okay, this is like an actually like really good angle to upgrade my board. My level 6 can just be 4 challengers with this board, so I'm gonna opt to, if I win, buy this Warwick. If I lose, I'm probably not gonna buy this Warwick. Direction wise, I'm thinking of playing a Kaisia Suo game from here. Gunblade's a fine item on Kaisa. This opener plays really, really well into Kaisia Suo because, you naturally want to hold a bunch of challenger units for the Samira. All you have to do is make sure you find a replacement Samira if you want to play around 6 challengers. So that's the game plan here, and you'll see the game plan changes a bit through the game. So yeah, we have a Chain Vest open here. Our options for as far as item slams are probably Gargoyle or Sunfire Cape. Or even like Bramble Vest. I actually don't recall what I take here. I imagine I take the Bramble Vest here. Yeah, we end up taking Bramble Vest for our Swain. AD is very prevalent. This is also Warwick pair, which is really nice here. So not mad about that. I was hoping to just high roll a Warwick to like a beast, but sadly we don't get it. But that's fine. add the Warwick to the board. You could maybe argue I could add like a Vel'Koz for Sork for Swain, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure just getting a tanky challenger unit on board is good, and this Vel'Koz unit sucks. Oh, this is actually really important. I put my Swain in the middle here because I noticed that Kurum has DFG. I do not want my Swain getting DFG'd versus Kurum, because that's gonna, like lead to him dying a lot faster, and he's my main tank. And by putting him in the middle, I guarantee that one of the side units gets DFG'd, and then our Swain ends up living long enough, and we actually win this fight. I'm pretty sure this positioning swung the entire fight. So all I'm gonna say is, I don't know. I didn't really think about it too much in the moment, but like, aren't I a beast? Like, wasn't that actually so good? Like, how many people would actually do that? But put their Swain in the middle, sandwiched between two units, so that he's guaranteed to dodge DFG no matter what. And now that that fight's over, now we can solo frontliner Swain, make our backline live a little longer, make the enemy team sort of try to wrap around Swain so he gets maximum value. We even put a couple units over here, and I don't even remember the reason why I did that, honestly. Probably just to have some guys on the front line so they can start attacking as soon as possible. But we end up fighting young Yije's, very weak inting board because they're trying to 5-loss streak. So we get rewarded with a 5-win streak, and of course we're making 30 gold because we're Stars is Born. And this is the Caitlyn spot. This is the ideal Caitlyn spot. You get to 5 streak and make econ because Caitlyn's a great legend and she's wonderful. So yeah, I'm actually really afraid that a bunch of people are gonna start playing Caitlyn, but I imagine they won't. I don't think the top players are gonna be swayed that much by just seeing me do well in a tourney. Maybe we'll see more Caitlyn on ladder or something, but hopefully not, because more Caitlyn's makes Caitlyn weaker, but it's all right. We get a few extra units here. We have this like Irelia pair here. We can just make 50 gold. Okay, so we get some interesting items here. As far as item slams go, I don't really want to make a Hodge. We can also just, of course, level for this Irelia, because we already have Gunblade. So like Hodge doesn't do much, and like Redemption is fine. Leaves us with a glove open. I have to just make Guardbreaker here because I think it's just the best slam in this position. I think Redemption's okay as well, actually, thinking back on it. But I don't know. Guardbreaker is just such a good item on Samira. It has, I always talk about the like duo stats are really, really good on Samira, AD and AP, and Guardbreaker and Gunblade both provide both. So it's giving her that AP so she shreds faster, and it's giving her that AD so that she can actually like do more damage just with her auto attacks and her spell. I really, really like the duo stats on Samira, so makes a lot of sense. And then we hit Prismatic Augment here, roll these two, and we hit level up here. And I realize, wait, I'm on a giga win streak. I have a ton of gold because Stars is Born. I have 50 gold here. This could just be a fast 8, maybe fast 9 angle. We're playing around Samira, which is one of the best units to fast 8/fast 9 with, because she's so stable at such a low cost, so we can just make 50 gold here. We can even level here. I'm pretty sure I level here, yeah, just to get a set in, because I know I'm still going to make 30 gold here, and this can help preserve my streak. Set's a solid unit. He's also just a Juggernaut with Warwick, so we're going to get some extra frontline. And yeah, I think the level here makes a ton of sense. There's an idea of maybe playing Ionia here. I would have to cut Kled for Karma. I don't think it's correct, but maybe there's some kind of stronger board that you can make here. I don't know. I was mostly just like, whoa, I hit level up. Like, what are we doing this game? I definitely want to hold on to the Karma, because if I hit more really strong Ionia units, I certainly think I should play around it. And I believe I do end up getting it in later. Not for like an Aphelios, but this doesn't matter. Samira 2 is 10 times stronger than Aphelios 1, so we're never going to like move items or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, this is just our board. The only downside this game, by the way, that we made a Bramble Vest, is that like half the lobby is AP. Is actually pretty unfortunate itemization. Oh yeah, I spread out here, but I'm pretty sure this is just not how it should be done. I want to spread so I don't give them maximum Malzahar value, but I know that they're always going to get good Malzahar value here anyway because of just the fact that my units that are clumped are in the middle. So I was kind of like, what am I even doing here? Why did I spread like this? Like, I'm just griefing this fight. I believe, yeah, I don't think I end up winning this fight, right? Yeah, I end up losing this fight, so I finally lose my streak. It seems like it was like not that close, so it would have been a hard fight to win regardless, but maybe with better positioning I can win that. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, we have this tier here, so I'm thinking with these items it's a fast 8 Ari game, so I really wanted blue buff here. However, there is no second tier, so I can't make blue buff. Also, blue buff would be an amazing slam on Samira. So I'm just going to take Cloak and start looking for items for our Atrox/Belveth. When you play fast 8, fast 9, I usually think about you're playing for, like AP items for your Ari, and then like AD frontliner items for Atrox/Belveth, because they both like sort of carry the same sort of stuff. Like RFC is really good on Belveth, it's okay on Atrox. PT is really good on both, Titans is really good on both. So yeah, I don't know. I think about cutting this this set here. I'm like trying to figure out, is there anything that's actually stronger here? But I don't think there is. We also natural the Warwick too, which is really nice to continue to allow us to just like sort of like push levels for free and not get absolutely wrecked. We're fighting actually a pretty strong board from Kerm because he has this triple item Nasus, but we do have the Samira that can just shred through all of the resists. So this is either, I think this is a win, as crazy as it is. Like, he's carrying a Vel'Koz too, and all of this stuff. He's playing up like a combat augment, but we actually end up winning the fight, which is actually just completely crazy. Natural set 2 here. Find an Urgot, which is actually like a really solid unit to carry the Belveth items later. So I definitely want to hold on to the Urgot, especially because it's free. Also, I'm like, oh, I could get the Urgot in here, but there's actually like not an open slot. Like, I would have to cut like Kled and lose Noxus, which is just such a solid early. And like, we're getting into late game, but you know, at this phase of the game, Noxus does a lot of work for us. So I don't want to cut it just yet. But you know, maybe eventually we can cut Noxus, but it's mostly just hold the Urgot, potentially be an item holder. It's solid with Zon. I think I didn't check my Zon mod yet, but I don't know. We'll check it later. This is another like sort of just difficult fight because, you know, people are spiking their boards. My board is not the strongest board in the world, but I am 84 HP and 50 gold level 7. I know I'm going to be able to fast 8 this game. The question is, can I fast 9? Natural, another Urgot here. So all of a sudden I have Urgot Hair, which is really interesting. I don't really want to have to like roll to try to find an Urgot too, because like that's going to stop me from going fast 9. But like maybe there's some way I can fit in this Urgot just on level up and play him as a solid item holder. Items off of Wolves here, I think I get pretty solid items, right? Oh yeah, so I get Titan's Resolve and Blue Buff that I can make here, and then I natural the Urgot too. So I say, wait a second, okay, now I can just play Urgot as an item holder, get Virulent Bioware in. I end up getting Ionia in here, and I don't know, to this day, well, not, you know, not to this day, but to this moment, I'm still not 100% sure about this. It's Ionia onto set 2, Irelia 1, and this, the karma that I got in, of course. I'm pretty sure this is actually incorrect, and I should still be playing Noxus here, because it's much more relevant to give the stats to Samira and to Swain. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is incorrect. I think I just wanted to sort of like make it a bit easier to pivot, get my Iona units in. I knew I wanted to hold on to them, so like that kind of makes sense, but like probably don't need to make my board weaker. I could just like sell one of these karmas and like not really worry too much about getting karma too, or I don't even really need karma eventually, like late game. Augment-wise, rolling for days is not great. I end up getting Capricious Forge here, which I really like in this spot. Harness is also not bad, but I already have the Gunblade, so I don't really need it. But yeah, I actually really like Capricious Forge in this spot more than I like, you know, like the Portable Forge, because we're going to have so many incredible units in late game, just because of the way that Fast 9 works. So I can put this on a Senna, I can put it on like a Scion maybe. The only thing that I'm sort of stressing about is I have this Bramble Vest that has to go on Scion probably later. I have this Titans that has to go on like Belveth later, and I have these items that go on Ari. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, who is actually going to get this this Forge? The only options are going to be like Heimerdinger or Senna, and I think both of them are actually like fine to put this on. You know, they both use the stats quite well. Heimerdinger itemizes actually like surprisingly good because he gives the stats to the turrets. So yeah, it's not as bad as you would think, but it does sound a little bad. And I'm fighting a really tanky board from Sox that I just like, it's so hard to actually get through all of their frontliners, but I do manage to get through most of them and only take a 2-unit loss. And after this loss, I'm like, okay, I mean, especially after hitting the Urgot 2, I know that I can just fast 9 in this position. So I am just going to sack the next few rounds. I have to sack the rest of this stage, but I'm 70 HP. Worst case, I take 3 horrible losses, and I'm like 30 HP. Best case, I like maybe win a fight and take some good losses, and I end up like 50 HP or like high 40s or something. That is the hope, and then I can go 9 with like a few lives. So yeah, I'm literally just like looking at all the 5 costs, and I'm like, okay, who can I put the Forge on? Like I have to put these items on them, and I'm like, it's gotta be either Senna or Heimerdinger. But yeah, I fight this board, who, by the way, they have Belveth already on 8. Like they just found this Belveth like a beast and Ari. I was gonna complain about them finding them on 7, but then I realized that we actually won the fight. I guess maybe double Radiant Anima Visage or double Anima Visage Zed carried or something. I don't know. I was pretty surprised that I won that fight, but that's really good for me because this guarantees a comfortable fast 9. Because you know, now worst case I'm like 50 HP as opposed to like 40s from before. There's not much I can really grab here. I end up just taking a Warmogs here to build for tank items. I would have liked to go for like a BT for Belveth, but it just didn't exist in my choices. And I think Warmogs here is fine. Having a really strong itemized Scion will be very helpful late game, so there's nothing wrong with this. So yeah, I think this is fine. But yeah, I mean, I just have to scout to kill as many units as possible. This is also why Urgot and Samira are same side. One, because the shred is just good on the unit that Urgot is hitting. But two, because I just want to kill as many units as possible. I honestly should be scouting more aggressively. Like, if I was right side here, I could probably kill more than me being left side here. So that's actually, like, maybe a little bit of an oversight. Though, honestly, I mean, I do kind of shred through that Sejuani kind of fast, so it's not that bad. But, like, I don't know, do I kill that Urgot? I actually do. The Samir unit's so broken. They're nerfing her next patch, so fair enough. Yeah, I take a not too bad loss here. Down to 57. I took 13 there. And hopefully, I can get through this next fight without taking a ton of damage and be like high 40s. I really don't want to break into the 30s ideally. It's not the end of the world, but I need as many lives as I can get, especially because I have to basically full pivot my entire board, and I need a lot of gold to do that. But I also don't really want to like keep sacking. You know, I really just want to go 9 on 5-1. You can see me even like already pre-leveling here, because if I like try to sack until 5-2, I'm just gonna take so much extra damage once everyone spikes on 5-1. So yeah, we actually end up taking a pretty bad loss here because of this ginormous sway-in, and so we drop down to 43 HP. So like pretty comfortable to fast 9 on, but not like, you know, not amazing. I mean, honestly, maybe it is amazing. 43 HP, being able to go 9 with like 50 gold, like it's fine. I also remember that it's this portal here, which I even forgot when doing the review. So I'm just rolling for some kind of like Urgot item. I end up getting this, which is BT plus Death Cap, and then I can move either the Guardbreaker or the Gunblade over to Belveth. So I'm like, okay, this actually works really well. And I decided to just level up here and roll a bit. I want to hold the Taric. I immediately find Ari, which is really good. In the past, it's taken me so long to find this Ari. So I know she's getting blue buff plus this. The question is, what is her last item? I opt to end up going, I think, Guardbreaker on Ari, and then I just do double healing on Urgot. I guess we'll actually have to see. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we're just trying to make our big pivot here and put in all of the good units. I end up hitting a Heimerdinger here. Yeah, I get it over the set for now, sell the set. I'm really at this point like dying for some actual frontline because like if you look at my board, like I really want to get something like this in, but I realize like I can't cut this Swain. Like the Swain is too important. And then I do end up putting the gloves on these the Senna. So like not the best pivot, but not the worst. I tried to sort of like slow pivot it a little bit. I probably should have not sold the set and just kept him in instead of the Swain in hindsight. Like me seeing myself selling the set, I think that was a mistake. But you know, these kind of pivots are hard. But I take a not horrible loss, but kind of bad loss here. Drop to 28. Start guarding my upgrades, so I get a few upgrades here. Find another Atrox. Find a Shrinko here, but I really want a third Burno here. I end up hitting Rise 2 and Burno in my shop, and so here it's Stream and Rise. I'm like, this Rise is going to buy me time. I'm just going to make this pivot here, and I do want to buy Burno as well, so I do this. But then I realize, wait, I can't even buy Burno by doing this, so I have to sell the Belveth anyway, and now I'm stuck itemizing this Shen one, and like, oh my god, my board is so little frontline. I should definitely be just completely frontlining this Urgot, but yeah, like, this is like a disastrous state. Like, my board is not as strong as I want it to be. I really need to find a Scion to just help stabilize my board, and I dropped to 13 HP. I'm like, am I gonna die here? Like, I could easily just die here. I have a lot of 2-stars. The only nice thing is that I just fought Connor as me, who's like probably the strongest board in the lobby. Natural Heimer here, roll once, find Ari, and I say, okay, is this board stable enough to win one fight? I have Rise 2, I have Heimer 2. I have to, in my head, I just have to trust that this board is stable enough to win a fight. I now frontline all my units. I get my positioning like a lot better, so now I'm not going to get AoE'd as badly. But I just have to trust that this board is good enough to win a fight, because if I sell all of these really crucial pairs, then, you know, the game's going to be a lot harder. I fight young EJ here, who has Karma 3. It's a very scary matchup, because Karma, I think, can delete just so much of my board. I get one good Ari cast off here. The Rise cast CCs a lot, and my Urgot just tanks a ton of units. My Ari goes really low, but it is enough to win, and I get the gold from the Rise, and all of a sudden it's top 6, and I am alive. So very pleased with this. On Carousel here, I can take any of these units, Senna 2 or Ari 2 or Atrox 2. This person looks like they're gonna yoink my Senna, but then they move, so I just grab the Senna 2, which is obviously a huge upgrade. PG is also not bad. I don't really have anyone to put it on. It has to be on either Heimer or Rise, because I eventually want to move all these Urgot items over to Atrox. So yeah, that's why that's like that. Roll a little bit, find a Belveth, and I find an Ari2, and now I can breathe like a little bit of a sigh of relief. I decided to end up putting this on Heimer, and I have really good Heimer items, the blue buff for the Instacast and then the Archangels. I also got a dupe Senna from the Trickster's Glass, which is really nice, just way more shielding for my board. And so now, like, I finally feel like a little bit okay. A little bit like, okay, I think I can actually make it to late game on this board. I think we should be strong enough to win most of these fights. I made it through the hard part. I took a couple of bad losses, but I finally, like I finished the pivot, and now look at the board. This is actually like a pretty close fight, but we end up actually winning in the end. But like, yeah, like that fight is way too close for comfort. I need to have some like really solid front line so I can actually start winning fights. Roll, continue rolling here. I find a Shen too, but I don't actually have any way of playing it. I'm like, I could still Atrox here, but like I think my board's strong enough to live. I do have Connor in my pool again, but I'm just gonna lock for this Shen too, and hopefully, we can live this fight. Oh yeah, I do end up actually selling the Karma here, and making Shentu, which honestly, in hindsight, I'm a damn genius for doing this, because I don't actually need Karma on this board. I'm already getting Invoker off Rise. This is the tech that Joe Bookmark showed me, actually. Also, this person is 8. 8 Void, and they have Belveth too. I thought this fight was going to be really scary, but it actually wasn't that bad. But this is the tech that Joe Bookmark told me, is that late game you can cut, you don't have to play around Karma because you're going to play Rise late game. So you just end up cutting Karma, and then you get set in there. And so, like, honestly, Yasuo is probably stronger than Karma, especially because I'm frontlining him. So thank you, Joe, for that tech, because it actually saved me in this spot. I was able to sell the Karma, get Shen2 in, and, like, honestly, like, you could maybe make the argument that Shen2 swung that fight having enough frontline. I really just want a third frontline item at this point. I have my R items done. I have my eventual Atrox items done. And now we're just going to roll down, try to find some last upgrades. We find an Atrox 2. We find a Sign, which are both huge for our board. And we find Atrox pair. And we find a set, which is, of course, really, really good for Atrox. So, yeah. And we get to hold on to, I mean, I guess we're holding onto these Belveths, but it's kind of like, who cares about Belveth 2 in this spot? Like, I already have Atrox itemized. I do end up actually, like, Atrox gets kind of wrecked in this fight. I'm pretty sure I should have put, like, Scion or some kind of tank next to Atrox so he doesn't get one-shot here, because this fight ends up being really, really scary. Like, I almost get 10 0'd in this fight, and I'm like, am I gonna die here? But then the Ahri cast does enough damage to save the fight, and, like, I can breathe another sigh of relief. Like, my god, these fights were so stressful. I was so stressed in the moment. Rolling here, and we find the double Scion shop was huge as well to make our front line even better. And we do actually like get an item here off of the Rise portal. And so, like, I'm pretty sure it just has to be Zephyr in this position. I try to juke them and put my Taric here, but I end up just getting my ankles broken, and so I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just leave it there and hit a random Jinx. Better than nothing, I guess. But yeah, Atrox actually does work in this fight being on the edge, because he's not, like, immediately taking aggro from the Zeri. So, like, you see, Atrox, I mean, he dealt 2600 damage, but he also, like, healed a lot. But as you can see, like, we are now suddenly top 3. We say another Shen. Honestly, I probably should buy this Shen and think about remaking Shen. I don't think I ever do remake Shen this game, but I definitely should buy that Shen and think about remaking him. Like, if I can find another Shen too, I should certainly sell. We end up getting Belveth 2 here. I'm sort of like, okay, like, what am I even doing with Belveth 2? Like, is there anything to play for with Belveth 2 here? I'm pretty sure the second I hit all these upgrades, I should have just gone fast 9, because there was like nothing, there were no upgrades left to hit, or fast 10, because I am level up, remember, so I can go level 10 to sort of like guarantee my win. I played a little bit too scared here by like rolling a bunch and like holding onto these stupid Belveths, which like don't even really do anything. I should have just made 20. I think maybe I realized that either this round or next round. I guess not this round, because I hold on to the Belveths. As far as items, there's not much left. I can just go for sort of like tank items for Scion. I end up going for Hodge here and just throwing it on like Rise, but because there wasn't a really good tank item for Scion, I think I end up going for this. But like, I see the Gwen, I'm like, wait, I would really like to actually add Gwen to this board. It's Slayer for Atrox and it's Shadow Isles. Like, it's a solid unit, so I'd really like to add this Gwen if I can. I just need to get to level 10. And so yeah, now I realize, hold the Gwen, and I start just chilling. And it's just me and Connor left in this game. I was so nervous in this position, by the way, because I knew that I needed a first in this game. I was just like, my heart was just like, ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Like, I knew I needed a first, and I knew their board was strong, but I thought, like, there's no way they should beat my capped board. But, like, these fights end up still being pretty close, right? They kill a bunch of my front line, but they just can't get through my back line. It's another win. I also realized, like, look at Connor's gold. He was 50 gold. So I'm like, if he hits some insane upgrade on level 9, then, like, there is a reasonable chance that, like, they somehow beat my board. They end up leveling. I don't even know what they get in here, honestly. They're like double trouble, so maybe they got in like another copy of a unit. I don't even know. I was losing my mind at this point. And they are like, they're what, like 2 off Darius 3 here? Like, their spot is not that crazy. I tried to hit a Zephyr here. I'm pretty sure I've missed Zephyr like every time. Oh wait, this is the fight. Someone in my chat told me that my Zephyr just didn't work. This is the fight where my Zephyr just doesn't work. It just bugs out. Wait, that's wild. I ended up getting an item drop from Rai, so I just slammed the static shiv immediately. One more win, so Connor's down to 3 HP, and now I know that I can go 10, which is really big. Yeah, wasn't that weird that my Zephyr just bugged out and didn't hit anyone, I don't think, there. That's kind of sus, but all good, I guess, because it didn't swing the game. But yeah, we have one more fight versus Connor. We are going to get the Gwen in here, which is a big upgrade to the board, so I should be safe, but I'm still so stressed in this situation because I know, like, I need to win this game. I need to win this game for my tournament life. So I level up here, get this in, start rolling here. Really, I'm just trying to find Gwen too. Like, that's the only real upgrade that exists in this position. Like, I'm holding all this other stuff. It doesn't really matter. The other thing, like I was saying, is I could remake the Shen and then move items to Scion, but I just didn't think about that. So do a couple of swaps. I end up actually losing Hull Breacher value on Senna, though it doesn't really matter. My Atrox does take aggro pretty early on, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, he just gets one shot there. I get, like, kind of scared in this fight because I'm like, oh my god, Atrox got one shot, but they just can't get through my front line fast, and my board is way too capped. Like, I shouldn't be nervous, but it's just, you know, tournament nerves. If I win this fight, you can see how relieved I am, and it's a first. And this is the first that allowed me to make it to the final day. If I didn't go first in this position, it would have been way harder to make it to the final day. Would have had to do way better in the last game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed my tournament run. I'm gonna do a few more VOD reviews of my games from this tournament because it was so crazy and fun. So be on the lookout for those. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video.